We just got into the offseason. We've already got a little bit of trade drama llama news. It looks like the Jets are expected to pursue Lamar Jackson.
Jets, Jets, Jets!
This offseason, the New York Jets are going to pursue a veteran quarterback. The two top guys that are going to be on everyone's radar and everyone talking about: Jimmy Garoppolo, familiar with the offense. The Jets love him. Derek Carr as well. Both of those guys are players the Jets feel they can win with. The one wild card that I would not rule out, if he is made available, because things are starting to get a little funky down there in Baltimore, is Lamar Jackson. If he is made available and the Ravens are willing to listen to offers, the Jets will do everything they can to position themselves to make a very, very, very compelling offer.
Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, we are talking a little bit of trade drama llama news that is surrounding one quarterback, Lamar Jackson. That's right, you heard it from Connor Hughes. Jets are expected to be in on Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the one wild card being Lamar Jackson. That's right, the electric quarterback out of Baltimore. This guy has had himself a career. Right now, he has rushed for over 4,400 yards to go along with just a monster passing career as well. He has 12,000 yards over 5 seasons. Now, the downside to Lamar is he's only played in 12 games each of the last 2 years, so you worry about durability issues when it comes to Lamar Jackson, and can he stay healthy for a full 17-game schedule plus the postseason? And why is he becoming available? Because mostly, quarterbacks don't become available that are still really good. Teams don't want to give up franchise quarterbacks because they're so rare, they're so hard to come across. I know. I'm a Jet fan. Been looking for one for a long time. So, Lamar Jackson wants to be the highest paid quarterback in the league. Right now, that title stands with either like Watson or Russell Wilson, I think. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers is really high up there, but I think the contract he's looking at and the trade that we're probably kind of considering are going to be between the Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and the contract that kind of went with those two guys as well. Quarterbacks that are in their prime. Now, Deshaun Watson, age-wise, is closer to Lamar Jackson, whereas Russell Wilson is in his 30s and a slightly different package. So let's go through. Let's talk about what those guys were traded for, their current contracts, and what it would kind of look like potentially for the New York Jets. So Russell Wilson was traded this offseason, got 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a 5th-round pick, plus 3 players. They wound up giving him a contract extension to the tune of 5 years, $240 million, $242 million to be exact, and that is looking like one of the worst trades of all time and one of the worst contracts of all time as well, because Russell Wilson has looked like booty cheeks since he got to Denver. Really not good. So not a fantastic glimpse of what your future could look like if you're the New York Jets trying to trade for a star quarterback, giving him a monster contract. And now they're basically locked into Russell Wilson till like 2025. Like they've had to fire their coach to figure out a situation or figure out a solution out there in Denver. And they've actually traded away, Bradley Chubb down to Miami because he didn't want to, they needed to recoup picks because they realized all the mistakes they've made with this particular trade. The other trade I was talking about, the Deshaun Watson trade, he was traded for 3 firsts, a 2023 third, and a 2023 fourth. And he was given a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed deal. Now, he was traded once he had or I guess, did he not have the allegation? All the allegations had come out, and there was going to be baggage with him. I don't remember if he was traded prior to. I guess he was traded after the criminal case was settled, and then before the civil suits got settled, I think, is how that wound up working. So there's still like a black cloud over Watson's head, still kind of is. But he got $230 million fully guaranteed, so screw the Browns for jacking up the quarterback market for a guy that I don't think should have been worth that much money. But Lamar Jackson, rightfully so, 2019 MVP of the league, 2-time Pro Bowler. The guy has 101 passing touchdowns to just 38 interceptions, 24 rushing touchdowns, and 6.1 yard per carry average. That's pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. I'll take 125 touchdowns and 38 interceptions over the course of the last 5 years. The Jets haven't had a quarterback throw for over 10 touchdowns in 3 seasons. 3 seasons. going back to the second to last season of Sam Darnold. That's how long it's been since the Jets have had 10 plus touchdowns out of the quarterback position. Really, really crazy. So let's talk about it. Should the New York Jets give up the amount of picks needed to get Lamar Jackson? Now, the health is absolutely a concern. For me, when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about like the issues that we currently have. Like, and we're talking about like LaFleur. And it's like, okay, well, you know, he didn't utilize all his talents all the right way. You know, you have Denzel Mims on the roster, you have Elijah Moore on the roster, you know, Zach Wilson, maybe he's doing some things that people don't think he should be doing. But like, is he developing developing an offense around the talent he has, or is he trying to shoehorn talent into the offense that he has? And I think a lot of us probably fall in the latter category of that. But even still, if you were to bring in a Lamar Jackson, you'd have to tailor the offense to him, and it just doesn't seem like Mike LaFleur currently is able to do that. So in that sort of situation, you're probably looking at bringing in maybe Greg Roman, who worked with Joe Douglas in Baltimore while Douglas was a scout in Baltimore. Maybe that time overlapping was enough for him to come in and run an offensive scheme for Lamar Jackson in New York. Maybe that's what it would be. I can't imagine Baltimore would hang on to Greg Roman if Lamar Jackson gets moved. Which still feels like a pretty long shot because he's kind of their entire team. But devil's advocate, you know, if you want to say the Jets, we wanted a quarterback for the last few years, used our assets, have built up the team, we're a quarterback away. There's an argument to be made if you say, hey, you could give up 3 first-round picks for Lamar Jackson and you got to give him a monster contract and that gets the deal done. If you're telling me I could give up 3 picks, and solve our quarterback solution for the next 3 to 4 years, and you give him a 4 or 5 year fully guaranteed contract to get that done, in my mind, there's a situation where that could be all right because Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Elijah Moore, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, all these guys that were looking like a really strong core for us right now, they're all on rookie contracts. So you can pay an astronomical contract for a quarterback right now because you have all the young guns under contract for such cheap deals. Now, you will have to end up paying them, and then that could create some issues as well. And then how does Quinnen Williams factor into all this? If you re-sign Quinnen Williams, then you have to imagine that Lamar Jackson, you know, maybe he becomes a trade chip in the Lamar Jackson sort of situation. And I don't particularly want that. I would like Quinnen Williams to be here. But if I had to get a franchise quarterback, you know, then he becomes that kind of, you know, commodity because of how valuable the quarterback situation is. But I don't trust Lamar. It scares me. It really does. And it's not that I wouldn't go for it. Like there's in the ranking order of where I could go with quarterbacks, Lamar Jackson is a very exciting one. If we get Lamar Jackson, I'm going to lose my cool. He's one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch in the NFL. And look, we got the tight ends, right? You have, if you're giving up just the 3 picks, you have the tight ends, you got better receivers than he's ever had in Baltimore. You have a great running back in Breece Hall, Bam Knight, and Michael Carter. So like this team is kind of ready to go with Lamar Jackson. And with a bad offensive line, this type of running style quarterback that can create more time for you and create issues with defenses, you know, trying to figure out, is he going to run? Do we have to contain him? So it's not just as simple as rushing the pass rusher or rushing the quarterback with Lamar Jackson. I think he can create some more time for your offensive line, which we currently have issues with. Because if you're trading away the 2023 first round pick, the number 13 overall pick in this sort of situation, you are now foregoing the tackle in the first round that you were probably slated to take at that capacity. But you now have your guy. Maybe you're relying more on a Mekhi Becton developing at this point than you are, you know, spending the pick on the tackle. It's fascinating. It's really cool to see where this could all shake out. For me, I think Joe Douglas still has ears inside the walls at Baltimore. And I think if he makes the move for Lamar, he is confident enough in the decision to do so. If he does not make the move, I think that also speaks volumes because I do think there's an issue. When a smart organization like Baltimore has a hesitation when paying a very, very good player and something that they really shouldn't be confused about doing. Like this is an MVP caliber player, a franchise quarterback. If they have reservations about paying this guy this much money, you should have pause when doing this as well if you're the New York Jets. So I would monitor this situation. I definitely don't want Lamar Jackson going to Miami. There's totally a situation where I could see him here in New York, but I don't think this is the direction Joe Douglas is going to go. I think he likes his draft picks. I think he does know what winds up going about this whole situation. Like Derek Carr, he's going to become a free agent first. Jets are going to try for that. That doesn't work. Jimmy Garoppolo is next. If Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't work out, then maybe you discuss the trade talks potentially for Lamar Jackson before the NFL draft. So, interesting thought process. I think we're going to take a few swings prior to the Lamar Jackson potential trade, but we'll see where this all goes, and I'm glad the Jets are at least monitoring this here. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'll leave a poll question in the description. Would you trade for Lamar Jackson? Simple yes, no question. Don't care what the trade compensation is. Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, go Jets.